You'll find Rayovac heavy-duty batteries at most True Value hardware stores and home centers. Tell them Pat Summerall sent you.
Joey Reynolds on WNBC.
Yep. We're going to play some more tapes with Jane Dornacker. Great moments with the lovely lady. Mm-hmm. Great lady of comedy. Never got credited with that. She was too busy telling us traffic is her life, which she did a great job with, but I still think of her as a comedian. They don't like to be called comedians anymore. They want to be called comedians, as actresses want to be called actors. The age of unisex. So it's 21 till 7 on WNBC, and this is an incident. I think the next one we got here is...
Oh, this was good.
Was this Howie Mandel was sitting here with a balloon on his head, or a glove made into a balloon.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger walked in.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger walked in. This is not a voice impersonation. This is truly Arnold and truly Howie Mandel. And as always was the case at WNBC, Jane Dornacker, after they went down the first time in April with that helicopter, she did the reports from the studio until they made it safe for her to fly again. So I'm sure she went through a lot of trauma. Because psychologically, that's got to do a number on your head. I'm speaking for her now. Because she did say to me, I'd rather be in the studio. And I said, we'd rather have you in the studio. They put her in this little news booth where a piano would not fit. But invariably, she'd walk into this room and a guest would be here, and they would just be in awe because she had that certain look. She had a big, tall, gawky look and a great heart and a lot of charm, and a lot of love would come from her. I'm using that word a lot today. I don't mind overusing the word love. But she walked into this room when Arnold Schwarzenegger was here and Howie Mandel, and here's what happened.
Look at this.
We got someone here who you probably remember from your past. If you can put these earphones on, this is someone who you had a fleeting moment with this lady years ago.
God, it's getting hotter by the second.
She does our traffic here at the station. Her name is Jane Dornacker.
Dornacker.
You probably don't ever remember
This is
her.
worse than Schwarzenegger. God,
That's redundant.
Dornacker. I can't believe it.
You remember picking her up? Not dating her, I mean just picking her up.
Yes, I am.
Jane, Arnold is here.
Hi, Jane. I'm back.
Completely. You're not back because you never came to begin with.
Oh, how do you know?
Jane!
I didn't mean anything bad by that, but
All of a sudden we're talking to Dr. Ruth.
I know.
Same channel. Jane, explain to Arnold
How
what...
about Schwarzenegger? That's a hell of an odd name, isn't it? Howie Schwarzenegger.
I mean, your name is Kinky. I can't believe it. There's something S&M there. Do you wear black leather?
Okay, Arnold, did you remember one day about... now, this is truth. I'm speaking truth because I never do speak anything but the truth. And right
Yeah,
now,
sure.
that traffic there... But maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. Are you? Just kidding, Arnold. Down here on the Grand Central Parkway, traffic is very heavy. I just want to get some official traffic information out of the way, but I wonder if you remember a while back before
Get to the question, Jane!
Do you remember me?
I know you were the girl that was oiling me up backstage. You had terrific hands. I wanted to hire you full-time as a masseuse. I know it all.
No, you don't. You're just making that up. But I do remember that. When I told you I had to leave to go to a rehearsal, you said, "Don't make me cry." And I started to blush like a teenage girl.
Well, if I didn't see you sitting here and I heard her do that, I would have thought it was actually you on the radio.
I know she did such a
You
good
should get
act.
into impressions.
Oh, God, yes. And we're going to sign her up exclusively for the Austrian television.
I know drag queens are big out there, but I ain't one. Don't make me cry. And don't make you cry if you're heading on the Triborough Bridge right now. Traffic is very heavy. Huh? Yeah, pretty smooth, huh?
66 WNBC.
Don't wait another minute to buy a new washer or dryer.
Because Sears Laundry Spectacular is on.
With 23 different Kenmore washer and dryer models.
All on sale.
And big savings from $70 to $220.
Like our large capacity washer for $288.
Dryer $238.
You save $70 on the pair.
They're all Kenmore.
America's best sellers.
With more innovation than you ever imagined.
But remember, Sears Laundry Spectacular ends Saturday.
So what are you waiting for?
There's more for your life
In our new century.
at Sears.
Next, Walter and Miriam for Larry Peters Country. Miriam, what would you say to a day in the country?
Just you and me?
Just you and me in the Nissan.
The Nissans? What country do you have in mind here? Japan?
No, sir. I thought we'd spend the day checking out those hot new Nissans.
Doesn't Larry Peters' country sell BMWs?
I suppose that's possible. Maybe you'd prefer the new Dodges. A new Dodge could really take us places.
Lots of BMWs and Peugeots.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we ought to see if they have a nice new silver...
Sentra, right? You were going to say Sentra. Yes, a nice silver Sentra. Or the new Dodge Shadow. Why, with all those great makes at Larry Peters, we're certain to get a deal on a...
Peugeot, honey.
Maybe we ought to just stay home today.
No, I think we need a day in the country.
You do?
Just you and me and our new BMW.
New BMW.
Spend a day in Larry Peters' country. Authorized dealers for Nissan, Dodge, Peugeot, and BMW. Drive in this week and say you heard them on WNBC, and you get $100 off your best deal. Minutes from the George Washington or Tappan Zee bridges on Route 17 South in Ramsey, New Jersey. Hey, skiers, Alpine Ski and Sports is proud to present for a second year in a row New England's biggest ski sale ever. Doors are open tomorrow, October 24th at 3 p.m. sharp. Continues for 3 days only. Alpine Ski and Sports presents a ski sale so big, so gigantic, so incredible, that has to be held at Bridgeport's Highline in Connecticut. It's Alpine's 3 days of incredible savings. From tomorrow, October 24th at 3 p.m. through Sunday, October 26th at 6 p.m., you can save up to 85% on skis, boots, bindings, clothing equipment, and accessories, too. There's over 5,000 pairs of skis, 6,000 pairs of boots, and 20,000 pieces of accessories. 3 big days only, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Every item in Alpine ski sale is priced to sell, and there are over 100 ski reps will be available to serve you. It's a ski sale you cannot afford to miss. Free gifts to the first 100 people. It's Alpine Ski and Sports' biggest ski sale ever, tomorrow through Sunday at Bridgeport Highline, Connecticut, exit 28 off Route 95, just 50 miles from the George Washington Bridge. Now, Terry Raskin in WNBC Traffic. Terry?
Well, we have some heavy traffic still in Connecticut northbound on the Merritt Parkway, about 3 to 4 miles into Fairfield. Otherwise, Holland and Lincoln Tunnel still holding at about a 20-minute outbound delay, 15 minutes coming inbound. The outbound upper deck of the George Washington is still bumper to bumper because of the right lane being closed. On the New Jersey side, rough road surface there, and that's still causing delays northbound on the Harlem River Drive from about the 140s, the 150s. Use the Major Deegan instead. That just has some heavy ramp delays. Otherwise, in Manhattan, northbound on the FDR, we have some earlier delays at South Street up to the 30s, and it's slow again through the 60s and up through Gracie Mansion. Southbound, just some minor delays from the 40s through the 20s. In Brooklyn, northbound BQE is heavy from the Williamsburg Bridge up through the Kosciuszko Bridge. We have a disabled vehicle in the center lane. Southbound, just the usual delays from the Brooklyn Bridge to the outbound Gowanus. Tomorrow, alternate side of the street parking rules will be in effect in all 5 boroughs of New York City. Roz Frank will be with you tomorrow morning. This is Terry Raskin, 66 WNBC.
WNBC, Joey Reynolds. It's our Thursday show. And it's a day that we have put together a little bit of a tribute to Jane Dornacker, who was tragically killed in a helicopter accident yesterday. Those of you who are leaving work late and tune us on and listen to us in the car and don't know what we've been doing today, and those who don't care, we've just been sharing our feelings. I wanted to get Janie on the air here for a minute because we haven't had her on at all today, and Janie, of course, is real good pals with Jane Dornacker, our very own Janie.
Yes.
So.
We're going to miss her. She was great. And as Dr. Don said, was it Don from Philly?
Dr. Don.
Yeah, he said that she was the oldest living hippie, and with her wild, crazy dress, she's the only person that could wear such outfits and get away with it because she always looked great in them. To me, I don't know about anybody else, but I love to see her in them. I was with her last Thursday, and we was our crazy nutty selves as usual. But little did I know that would be the last time that I would be able to see her. She's gone, but she will never be forgotten, I don't think, by any of us, because here we all are like family, and it's just like we lost a member of a family with her gone. And I hope the other guy, I hope he pulls through also.
Okay. Thank you, Jane.
Welcome.
Couldn't let the day go by without putting her on the air.
That's right.
We've picked on you enough. I'm going to have to really do a lot of amends with people apologizing for all the comments I've made. We got a tape here of Janie. Well, it's all in fun. Okay, let's get Lloyd on the air. Hi, Lloyd. You're on the radio.
Oh, how you doing, Joe?
We got Lloyd Lindsay Young, who is from Channel 9.
Right. Joey, I worked with Jane out at KFRC in San Francisco. I did weather for that radio station other than my television job, and I just wanted to say that I had a pretty rough night when I heard about it, really, and I my deepest sympathy goes out to her daughter. It was pretty tough.
Well, I thank you for taking this time to share with us. We tried to reach you a little earlier.
Yeah, I was called out on an assignment, and I'm sorry I missed you. But Jane was a fun-loving, whimsical, energetic, zany, ludicrous at times, wonderful person. And I'll tell you, I've talked to a few of my friends out in the Bay Area, and it's major news in San Francisco. I guarantee you, it was. That's where she grew up, one of the flower children from the '60s, and she was a big radio star with a guy named Dr. Don Rose out in San Francisco.
Yeah, Don was on with us earlier.
Oh, did you get a hold of Don?
Yes, we're having a charity thing that I don't know all the details on yet, but Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg are going to be involved, and we're going to have a fundraiser out in San Francisco, maybe next week.
On behalf of Jane?
On behalf of Naomi, who is Jane's 17-year-old daughter.
Right.
I'll let you know.
If there's anything I can do to help out, Joey, I'd sure appreciate it, and keep the good work up over there at NBC. And I just wanted to let all your listeners know what a great person that I thought Jane was, personally and professionally, but mostly personally. Well, both. I mean, she was just terrific, and it's just a shocker. It's awful.
Well, thank you, Lloyd.
All right, have a good evening.
Okay, bye-bye now. Also, Paul Schaefer called earlier, huh? You have to call him back? Yeah, because he and Jane were good friends, and Paul Schaefer was, they're off this week. The Letterman show is off this week. They're doing reruns. So he was not in the building. Otherwise, he would have stopped in. And I think Al Roker. But there's a lot of people. I mean, Jane is very well loved. And as far as you folks are concerned, WNBC, hiya.
Hi.
People who count.
I'd like to talk to Joey.
You're on the air. What's your name?
Linda Burgess.
Okay, Linda. You have to turn the radio down.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
Just the real folks.
Okay.
The way it goes. Okay, Linda.
Hi. Joey?
Yes.
Hi. I just wanted to talk my feelings about Jane that I had. I've been wondering all day why this has affected me so much. I just can't figure it out. I woke up in the middle of the night. The first thought I had was Jane Dornacker. I woke up this morning. That was my first thought. I go to school. I walked around all day thinking about it. I couldn't figure out why. But the only thing I've been able to come up with is Jane was sort of a role model to me. She seemed to have a certain amount of independence, a nonconformist attitude, like you said she was the first hippie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was different, because now in our days, they're not around anymore, so that doesn't really matter. But as a woman, she really seemed to convey what I would like to find in myself. She was what she was. She did what she thought was best. She didn't care what other people thought. And I think people are always afraid of that. So I really looked up to her to be able to actually do that.
Might I correct you? The hippies are still around.
Oh, well, they are still around.
They've been here since John the Baptist. He was the first one,
But for their own reasons, maybe. I mean, for different reasons.
Well, I don't eat locusts. I have short hair now, but I'm a hippie.
That's true. You are what you are.
But thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. We're going to take one more telephone call here. Let's do the commercials. Get those things out of the way, all right? Really, we should just stay on the air and share this love. Keep around the clock with this thing on NBC.
Don't worry about the 1 o'clock meeting.
Why not?
Because it's now the 2 o'clock meeting.
But I've got a 2 o'clock meeting.
Not anymore. That's a 3 o'clock meeting now.
Well, I thought the 4 o'clock meeting was at 3 o'clock.
No, that's now 5 o'clock.
But I was supposed to meet my wife at 5 o'clock.
Wilson, we can't allow your personal life to interfere with business, now can we?
This winter, Eastern Airlines has what every hard-working person needs. Time to stop working and start playing. And Eastern has the perfect place to do it. So we've added more to the Caribbean than ever before. Starting November 1st, we've added more flights, we've added more value. We've made our departure times more convenient, so you don't have to stand around when you'd rather be swimming around in all that warm blue Caribbean water. This winter, remember, Anyone who works as hard as you do deserves an Eastern vacation in the Caribbean.
Oh, honey, that beach meeting we scheduled for 9 a.m. Let's make it at 10 a.m.
Eastern, we're the one to the sun.
Owners of every make of car are here today, right? Okay, the subject is the lifetime service guarantee, the free car repair guarantee that covers thousands of customer-paid repairs for as long as you own your car. Those not eligible, leave this commercial. Let's go Chrysler, Dodge, you imports, come on, all you GM owners. Who's left?
Ford, Lincoln,
Mercury.
The only ones who can get the value of a lifetime service guarantee. Ask any participating Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer for a copy, because quality cars deserve quality care.
The future looks bright for the economy of Connecticut. Ronald Reagan laid the groundwork with policies that cut inflation and interest rates, ended malaise, and brought prosperity. As your governor, I'll build on that base with a growth-oriented, low-tax state government designed to keep our economy strong right into the 21st century. If that's the approach you'd like from your governor, I hope you'll vote for me on November 4th.
Julie Balaga for governor.
Paid for by the Julie Balaga Governor 86 Committee, E.R. Harrison Jr. Treasurer.
There's a strange phenomenon occurring in the deli business. The same individuals who insist on boar's head ham by the pound somehow forget to order boar's head ham by the sandwich. They say, ham on rye, please. What they should say is, boar's head ham on rye, please. They forget boar's head ham doesn't have any scraps or trimmings like a lot of other hams do. It's not loaded with preservatives like some other hams are. And it's not loaded with salt, cornstarch, or smoke flavorings, or over-processed until it tastes like rubber. So if you're one of those people who expect boar's head quality by the pound, remember, you can get that same boar's head quality by the sandwich. It's not very hard. All you have to do is ask for it. This way you can be sure the ham sandwich you take out will have the same boar's head ham you take home.
Ask for a boar's head ham sandwich at fine delicatessens everywhere, because if you don't, you could end up with a sandwich that's for the birds.
Jenny Jones, who won Star Search, won $100,000 on Star Search with Ed McMahon, got chummy with him. You got close. You have Great Lakes. So Jenny, who is a beautiful-looking comic, and that's unusual. I shouldn't say that. Jane Dornacker's here. Well,
I don't mind. I know I am a big giant weirdo. But, you know, the important people think I'm pretty.
Isn't that great? Yeah. Before we leave you tonight, I want to take one more telephone call, maybe two. I would like to stay on longer because there are so many people calling us at WNBC today, genuinely calling us, without any hype, showing their love, that I would just stay on the radio. But we've got Dave Sims Sports Night after the magazine coming up. You know, the sports magazine, they do that every night at 7 to 7:30. And then tonight on Sports Night with Dave Sims, he's got the NFL Films Executive President, Phil Tuckett, Vice President, rather, NHL Hall of Famer Gordie Howe, former DePaul University basketball coach Ray Meyer, and more, of course, on the rampaging Mets, who tied the World Series at 2 wins apiece last night. So tonight will be the game that we bring on home to New York. Got to get out of that field with that awful wall that's been so lucky for us. No one expected. So we're going to do our regular show tomorrow, I think. But we wanted to play some of the moments with Jane and give you an opportunity to be on the air and have some of her friends here today. And then we're going to ask you, not on this occasion, but I'm going to ask you for money for Naomi, her 17-year-old daughter. They're setting up a fund for her because there's no one left in the world. She lost her dad, who is, of course, Jane's former husband, last month. 6-7 weeks ago, I guess it was. August. He dropped dead at dinner with Jane and Naomi one night. So that was another big tragedy for Jane. And then, of course, she has her grandparents, but they are older. And we're going to set up a fund. And Don Rose, Dr. Don Rose, KFRC in San Francisco, is having a benefit performance for the Naomi Fund, Naomi Knickerbocker Trust Fund, if you want to write out a check. KFRC Radio, 500 Washington Street, San Francisco, 94111. You'll be hearing more about that, so I won't dwell on it. But Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg and a bunch of stars are going to have a little fundraiser for her. we hope to go to that. I'd like to broadcast from there, frankly. But we'll see. Before I leave you tonight, we're way over time. And I want to take a couple more calls. Because people have been holding on for a long time. There have been a tremendous amount of calls coming in today. And this is quite a shock for all of us. And it does us good to talk it out. And I have a problem because I don't know how to tell my little 5-year-old girl that Jane Dornacker died. My little girl is just first year in school, doesn't know yet. I hope she's not listening to the radio now. She does know the wrong way. But Jane was a very, very free spirit who had a lot of love and soul, and children seem to cut through all the bull because they go immediately for the presence and the sense that we have about us on a spiritual level more than they do the physical or those awful things we call words that become so meaningless, including mine. But when you have this kind of a feeling about you and you give this off, children feel it. Animals do too, I think. But on the first level, children. Maybe on another level, angels. But that's one I don't know about yet. So my little girl doesn't know that. Jane, whom she loved so very much. I have tapes which I couldn't find today. I've played them on the air. Jane Dornacker and the N-Copter, fasten your WNBC belt, those tapes. But Jane to me was a child. Children love children. When I go home tonight, I'll thank God for the precious gift of Jane Dornacker for the short time we had her. Now let me take these final phone calls and we'll get out of your hair tonight. Hi, WNBC.
Yes, hi. I was a close personal friend of Jane, and I sort of underlined the things that you said about telling your children. 3 weeks ago, Jane did a benefit performance for my child's daycare center, the Purple Circle Daycare Center on the Upper West Side. And she did it not because there was any money in it, which there wasn't, or not because there was a lot of publicity associated with it. And just to sort of illustrate what sort of professional she really was, we did 2 shows. The second show was very sparsely attended. In fact, the performers outnumbered the people in the audience. And we asked Jane, should we go ahead with the show? I mean, there's only about 10 people out. And she said, go ahead. I mean, do it. The people out there. And she turned out her best performance ever. She didn't play to the grandstands. She didn't need 10,000 people or 10 million people. She was at her best with even a single individual. And I think we all have a lot to learn from her. I happen to also be a physician, so I got the entry into St. Vincent's yesterday to find out the real situation. And I'm probably the last person that knows her well that saw her alive, or whatever sort of state you want to call the last moments of her life. And coming out of that place, I felt that it's so sad that in New York, everything, after a major event like this, it's all gone. You walk in the street and the cars are going as usual, and the river is as it was before, and everything gets forgotten in New York. But I think that your broadcast today shows me that that's not true, that people can remember and can do something to keep the memory alive of someone who is very special to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for your call.
Okay.
One more. I said one more, didn't I? Which one do you want me to answer, Chris? You pick it here. We'll play phone roulette here. Anyone. WNBC.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. I'm calling from Rhode Island.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that we listen to WNBC all the time. And we did listen to Jane quite a bit. And I personally was shocked. Heard the news But what I do want to say is, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. Take it easy.
We sometimes view people on the radio and as celebrities, as personalities, and not so much as human beings, as of course they are. And I know and have heard that Jane herself was a wonderful all-around human being, and I do want to say that you yourself have done a wonderful job in easing people's grief, their sorrow, in bringing it out in people so that they can share it. And I appreciate your sharing your human nature in regards to this. That I feel you yourself are a very unique and wonderful human being.
Well, thank you. I take no credit for that, but thank you. I appreciate your comments.
Bye.
Have a good night. I will leave you with this. We are late. I'm sorry. I apologize to the news department and to Dave Sims and his sports department. I want to leave you with the words of one of my favorite people, Norman Vincent Peale. Although I was raised Catholic, and it's real hard to say this, he says the plain hard truth is there is a certain amount of risk built into the universe. It's part of the price we pay for the great gift of life. No one wants to die unexpectedly, either by a man-made accident or by the blind forces of nature. But these things occur, and when they do, we have to summon up our faith in a God of justice and kindness who will receive a victim on the other side of death with as much love and concern as he had died a natural death at the end of his appointed days. So we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to listen to Dave tonight. He's got a great show. And Imus in the morning. Got a great bunch of talent around here. And then Soupy Sales, and we'll see you between 3. And we'll try to bring some funny stuff in tomorrow if we can possibly muster it up. Meanwhile, say your prayers. And thank you all for everything today. God bless you. Let a smile be your umbrella and don't get a mouthful of rain.
And here's what's happening, Joey. The focus of our family tragedy here at WNBC is now on the helicopter, or more specifically, the type of helicopter that crashed yesterday, killing Jane Dornacker. Spectrum Helicopters of Ridgefield, New Jersey, now says it has grounded 4 helicopters of the same type, while the FAA takes apart the WNBC copter piece by piece, looking for clues. Today, as you might have guessed, was and is especially grim around here, but it was a frightening day for other traffic reporters, including George Meade, who flies the WOR copter. Is he worried?
Ordinarily, you would like to say no, but I think you think in the back of your mind, hey, here's somebody doing the same job that you did.
We've been getting a lot of calls around here about funeral arrangements for Jane. They are incomplete at this time, and really that's all we can say for now. Those 2 debates scheduled this weekend between Governor Mario Cuomo and GOP hopeful Andrew O'Rourke may be canceled if a deal is not worked out to add right-to-life candidate Dennis Dillon to the discussions. Dillon is pushing hard to be included in one of the 2 debates between the governor and O'Rourke. The Republican candidate for governor in the Nutmeg State is questioning the latest poll that shows her behind Connecticut Governor William O'Neill by 18 percentage points. Julie Balaga, through the state's Republican chairman, questions the numbers. According to Thomas D. Moore, the O'Neill people might have known exactly when the poll was being taken. The new media magnet, if you will, attracting reporters left and right, has got to be Rikers Island, where several prison uprisings, a shakeup in the Rikers staff, and the refusal of the island's special SWAT team to respond to incidents has officials involved hurling allegations left and right. Today, the head of the Corrections Officers Union, Phil Seelig, took to the steps of City Hall to criticize the City Corrections Commissioner, who has warned guards to refrain from using excessive force.
He has already discouraged them from taking the necessary action and exercising the necessary use of force for fear of criminal indictment, civil liabilities, and administrative sanctions.
Seelig says without city backing, the guards are dead ducks. Both sides say enough is enough. More on that in a moment.
Recognize that sound? That's the sound of Nassau County's economy, growing, expanding.
flourishing, attracting more new businesses every year and helping established companies to increase their operations. Nassau County Executive Francis Purcell talks with Roz Goldmacher of the Long Island Development Corporation about Nassau's outstanding growth.
Roz, how does the LIDC work with Nassau's Industrial Development Agency?
Together, we provide small, successful businesses with 100% of the financing they need to increase or rehabilitate their real estate or purchase new equipment.
Approximately how many loans would you make in any given year?
It varies, but last year we issued about 30 loans.
Is LIDC a subsidiary of the Small Business Administration?
The LIDC is an agent of the SBA. We're actually a private, nonprofit development company. We also operate as a branch bank of the New York Job Development Authority, helping to create and retain hundreds of new jobs every year in Nassau County.
The LIDC and the IDA, two more reasons why Nassau County is good for business. Call 516-535-4160.
Seems just too much for you. With the legal help from Channel, it's not so hard to do. Make it easy on yourself. Come to Channel. Make it easy on yourself.
I was clearing all the junk out of the basement when I came across this old metal table we had. Well, it was about to join the garbage heap when I went to Channel Home Centers and discovered New York Bronze one-stroke refinishing kit for just $4.99. The stuff's incredible. You can paint over wood, glass, metal, just about anything to give a beautiful, genuine-looking wood grain finish. And it comes in a choice of colors. So I redid that old metal table with the refinishing kit and ended up with something that looks like a collector's item.
The end of the expulsions. Here's NBC's Alan Walden.
The superpower shuffle may be over, at least for now. NBC News reporter Bill Grudy has the story from Washington.
The U.S. will not expel any more Soviet diplomats. The State Department's Charles Redmond says enough is enough.
We hope that this set of issues can now be put behind us.
But Redmond insists that does not mean the U.S. is getting soft.
Equal and reciprocal restrictions will apply to the activities of the Soviet Embassy and Consul General in the United States.
The Kremlin has prohibited Soviets from working at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, so the State Department is expected to withdraw the 10 Americans who work at Soviet facilities here. The U.S. will also make it harder for Soviet diplomats to get visas so their friends and family can come to visit. Bill Grudy, NBC News, Washington.
President Reagan left town today. He's off on a two-day four-state campaign trip on behalf of Republican candidates for the House and Senate. And there will be other such trips before Election Day as the president does his best to ensure continued Republican control of the Senate.
NBC's Alan Walden. WNBC wants you to know ghosts and witches will once again lurk in the greenery Halloween night when the New York Botanical Garden presents Haunted Greenhouse for youngsters. For further information, call 212-220-8773. WNBC Sports coming up in a moment on Sports Night Magazine with Mike Breen. WNBC weather. Tonight, cloudy with a chance of showers, lows in the 50s. Partly cloudy tomorrow and cooler, highs in the low 60s. An outlook for Saturday, partly cloudy and seasonable. Currently, it's 69 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm Frank Cipolla, WNBC, New York.
12 minutes after 7 on 66 WNBC New York. This is Sports Night Magazine with Mike Breen. As we said last night, even the World Series can be put in its proper perspective. Such, of course, was the case here at NBC with the death yesterday of our own Jane Dornacker, a woman who everyone here will agree whose immense talent was only equaled by her big heart and her definitely never-ending enthusiasm. Now, we'll miss Jane Dornacker, but we also feel very fortunate that we had the opportunity to work with her and get to know her, because we all feel here that God surely smiled upon us here at WNBC the day he made Jane Dornacker our friend.
Listen for Matt Patton, coming soon to mornings on 66 WNBC, New York.
NBC 66 WNBC.
WNBC Sports Night Magazine tonight sponsored by Bear Leasing. and by Willowbrook Nissan. Coming up later on Sports Night with Dave Sims, Dave's guests include hockey great Gordie Howe, former DePaul coach Ray Meyer, veteran sportscaster Harry Callis, New Orleans Saints quarterback Dave Wilson, the NCAA's leading rusher this year, Paul Palmer of Temple University, and Phil Tuckett of NFL Films. It's all coming up later on Sports Night with Dave Sims. World Series Game 5 tonight, and as they say, it's anybody's ball game, or shall we say anybody's series. Mets and Red Sox at Fenway Park this evening. They're, of course, tied at 2 games apiece, and WNBC's Gary Bridges is in Boston.
With the Mets' second win here at Fenway yesterday, the series is even, and Mets fans have begun to talk about momentum. Well, the Mets bats have awakened, the club has started to score some runs, and the Red Sox...